No, Lillian, do not lick your brother. Lola, that bottle is not for you. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another Mommy Monday video. This is Lincoln. If you haven't met him before, this is Lincoln. The last time I was sitting in this exact spot with this baby, he was 10 weeks old and now he's 20 weeks old. Can you even believe it, Lincoln? So it is actually feeding time for Mr. Lincoln. He's now eating little baby oatmeal in the bottle, which is so exciting. I was so excited to start feeding him solids. He hasn't eaten like pureed fruits or vegetables yet, but we're doing the baby oatmeal, so that's exciting. But I figured while I feed Lincoln, I can go ahead and talk about some must-have products that we used between the ages of 10 weeks and 20 weeks. So I already filmed a newborn version of this, which was basically like 0 weeks through 10 weeks, that I'll link down below for you guys. But as he gets older, his changes, they vary. They get different. They get new. He needs new things because he's bigger and he's doing new things and eating new things and, you know, becoming more mobile. So I figured I would let you guys know, like, okay, these are the products that really helped us out between the age of 10 weeks to 20. And just like my last video like this, I will insert pictures or video clips of Lincoln using these products. Okay, product number one is a play mat. We actually have two, well, we have 3 of these, but one of them I never really ended up using. Now, he did use these when he was a newborn, but it was more of like he would just lay there and like look, and I think that's beneficial as well. But now he's actually getting to the point where he can like bat at the toys, try to grab at the toys. He actually will like pull at the toy and like put it in his mouth. So yeah, I'm talking about the play mats that have like the arch of toys hanging off of them. We have a skip hop one that's kind of like gray and mint toned. And he really likes that one. That's the one that's upstairs in his bedroom. And we try to do tummy time and playtime on that every day for about an hour. And he loves it. He pulls out those toys, he grabs at them, he shoves them in his mouth. And before he could reach them, he would kind of like, you know, try to reach for them or like bat at them. He really likes that one. And then we also have the Fisher-Price Kick and Play, which we keep downstairs, and he will play on that down here. That one's really nice too because it has a piano like musical thing at the feet. And the purpose of it is for them to like kick it and like hear the music and like figure out foot coordination. He's not quite there yet, but he does really like the toys off of that. In fact, we used the Kick and Play a lot more in his younger weeks, and now we use the skip hop one a little bit more. We just kind of go back and forth. It really just depends. I don't think you need 2 of them. I think one or the other is totally fine. I think the skip hop one is more expensive than the Fisher-Price one, which is ironic because the Fisher-Price one, it like makes music and stuff. I think both of them have really helped in his like hand-eye coordination, and they give him something to do. They're good for tummy time. We just really like the play mats. The second thing I have on here is bigger swaddles. So the rule of thumb is you're supposed to stop swaddling your baby once they are able to roll over or once they can show signs of rolling over. He's actually at that point now. He can roll over belly to back and back to belly. Back to belly, we're still practicing. He's only done it a couple of times and he's not consistent with it. It's more of like he'll do it once in a while and it's like, oh my god, you just rolled over, you know what I mean? We're still working on it. So we're trying to slowly transition out of the swaddles. At nighttime, I'll swaddle him with like 1 arm out or 2 arms out. I bought some Halo sleep sacks, and that might be something I recommend in my next video, but we're just not quite there yet. But needless to say, he did grow out of his newborn swaddles, and I think in my last video like this, I talked about the Swaddle Me pods, which were so nice when he was a newborn. He grew out of those fairly quickly, and then we ended up buying the Swaddle Me just regular swaddles, and those were pretty much what we used exclusively. I had a ton of swaddles that I was trying to figure out which one he would like. The Swaddle Me ones, they just end up working the best. So he actually grew out of the size small, or maybe they're small medium, and we had to upgrade to the larger ones. So the small mediums I think are supposed to go up to 3 months, and so pretty much right around 3 months when we swapped out all of his 0 to... Whoa! Big burp, buddy! Yeah, pretty much that same time that we transitioned his 0 to 3 month clothes, we also transitioned into the larger swaddles. Also, on the note of getting bigger, and needing bigger things. We also had to upgrade his bottle size. So you can see here I'm using a bigger bottle. In my last video like this, we were using a little bottle, but now he drinks more ounces at a time. So therefore we need bigger bottles. Also, this is something that I wasn't really aware of before having a baby, but there's different sized nipples as well for bottles. And basically the holes in the nipples get bigger to allow more milk to flow through at certain points in their life. So we had to upgrade bottle sizes and nipple sizes. So similar to what I was talking about with like the play mats and the arch of toys, like the grabbing of the toys, one of the things I found really nice for him now is grabby toys. So things like he has some keys that he can play with, just little things. Do I have anything? Usually we have some type of grabby thing anywhere and everywhere for him to play with. But he really likes toys that he can grab and play with, whether it be rattles, teether type things, just stuff to grab and play with in his hands. We started to have him kind of reach for toys way back when, just as like a developmental thing for hand-eye coordination, but now he actually holds on to them and puts them in his mouth. Everything goes in his mouth nowadays. Also crinkly toys, so toys that have that crinkle to them. We have a couple of books, but you know how like some dog toys have that like crinkle where it sounds like there's plastic inside of them? They have baby toys like that too, and he loves crinkle toys. I talked about this in my last video, but we have continued to use this product as frequently between 10 and 20 weeks as we did between 0 and 10 weeks. But the Graco Playard, the pack and play that I talked to you guys about, has been such a good product, and it's lasted so long. We've used it we're still using it pretty consistently. We still use the changing mat part to change his diaper, and then we use the bassinet part, I think probably the most often. So I'm gonna insert a picture of the Playard here so you can see exactly what I'm talking about, but basically it's a pack and play with these little click on and off things. And the bassinet portion of it, I think, is technically supposed to be like a newborn bassinet, but it has an incline on the seat. We basically keep it in the incline position now, and that's what he sits in when I'm in the kitchen. So whether it be we're sitting at the table eating dinner, or I'm in the kitchen cooking dinner, whatever it may be, that's what we use, or that's what he sits in the kitchen. Now, technically you probably could use a high chair, and a high chair would probably serve the same purpose, but he's just not quite to the point where he can sit in a high chair comfortably. But the bassinet portion of that pack and play, we still use it a ton, not as a bassinet, but more as like a sitting place for him. In my Vlogmas videos, a lot of you guys asked me what he was sitting in, and that is what he was sitting in. So that Graco pack and play, it was expensive, but man, do we use the heck out of it. Okay, the next thing I have on my list is Carter's tube socks. He's actually wearing some right now, if you can see. I talked about these in my previous recommendations video, but we have since had to buy bigger socks because newborn socks are typically like 0 to 3 months, and now he's wearing the 3 to 12 month size. And the tube socks from Carter's or Oshkosh, because those are technically the same company, honestly are the only socks that stay on his feet, you guys. And he's now at the point where he's like putting his legs up in the air, like I call him like a little stink bug, and he's grabbing his feet and pulling at his feet. And anytime he's wearing socks, he'll just pull his socks off. Only socks that do not come off are the tube socks from Carter's or Oshkosh. Okay, next thing I recommend is bibs, and I'm kind of specifically talking about these little bandana bibs. So he's wearing one right now. I'll insert a few pictures of him wearing bandana bibs. They're cute, first of all, but second of all, he is in a drooling phase right now. So pretty much between the months of like 2 months to now, and I'm sure going forward, he's not teething, but he is drooling like crazy, you guys. Like drool monster. And if he's not wearing a bib, he will inevitably have like a drool bib on his shirt, just like it'll be completely wet, looks like he's wearing a bib, even though he's not wearing a bib. Copper Pearl makes some super duper cute bibs. They just came out with a holiday pack that has a Valentine's Day, an Easter, a St. Patrick's Day, and a Thanksgiving one in it, which I thought was a pretty cool idea to package like different holidays together, because really you only need like one bib per holiday, you know? So that's really good. Now once he starts eating solids, I think I will probably put him in like the plastic bibs that you can just rinse off at the sink. But these types of bibs are really good just for drool and spit up. The last thing I have on my list is colorful books. So I've read to Lincoln every single night since he was an itty bitty baby during our like nighttime routine or our bedtime routine. That's one of the things that we do is we read a book, and it hasn't been until very recently that he's actually been very alert and aware of what we're doing. So I'll sit him in my lap similar to how he's sitting now, open up a book and read it to him, and it hasn't been until very recently that he's actually like, whoa, and he'll look at it and he'll pay attention to it. He doesn't reach for it or grab for it, but he does like thoroughly pay attention to the books. And I've noticed that he really, really likes the colorful ones. So there's a couple of like baby shark books. If I can find some, I'll link it down below for you, but some baby shark books that are just super colorful, and he stares at those books and he's just like mesmerized by them. So definitely recommend that. I know newborns typically like contrasting, like black and white, but I think he's finally getting to the age where colors are just mesmerizing to him. So other than those products, we pretty much have just consistently used the same things that we have been using. There hasn't really been anything between 0 and 20 months that he's outgrown, other than clothing, of course, and bottles, like we talked about. But he is now at the point, so he's 4.5 months old now. He's now at the point where he's starting to not really like a lot of those itty bitty newborn baby things. So like, for example, his swing that he used to love as a newborn, he doesn't really like it anymore. Also the DockATot, he is a long baby, so he's getting to the point where he's almost outgrowing his DockATot. His pacifiers, we're having to now sooner or later update those to the bigger pacifiers, but there hasn't really been a ton of things where I'm like, oh, I don't recommend this anymore. A lot of people say like babies grow so fast and you buy all this stuff for them and they only use it for a couple of months. I do agree with that to a certain extent, but there hasn't been anything that I purchased and like totally regret purchasing. But yeah, I hope that this video was super helpful for you. If there's anything that you guys recommend that you used for your babies between the months of like 2 and 4 that was super duper helpful, let us know in the comment section down below. But those are the products that have been really helpful for us. So I hope that you guys enjoyed watching. Look at this. He holds onto his burp cloths and then he like shoves the burp cloth in his mouth. Everything goes in his mouth. But yeah, that's about all for now. Aww. And we'll talk to you next time.